So, hello everybody. I wanted to introduce you today to my friend and client, just a recent graduate of the Breakdown to Breakthrough program, Megan Firlotte. Thank you so much for coming out today and chatting with everyone.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you decided to come on and do this and share your experiences with everybody in the program and potential clients and stuff like this. So I actually met Megan, when was that? Maybe a
2018,
year.
I think.
2018. And we met at a little hippie fair, holistic expo in Guelph, I believe it was.
Oh, Cambridge. But
Was
yeah.
it Cambridge?
I
Oh,
think
that's
we've done more than one.
That's right. We actually met twice at two. We love the hippie fairs. So the first one was Cambridge. And I think then we had another session in Guelph. Yeah. So it was love. It was love. She had me at hello. So just share, I wanted to have you on here just to share with the community, why you came into the program in the first place, what inspired you, and like what challenges were you dealing with?
Well, at the time of me entering the program, I was in a place where I wasn't like enjoying my job. I was tired all the time. I was stressed all the time. I was sad all the time. So I knew like I had to do something, which is why I looked into going into the program.
Yeah, for sure. I think you were, it was anxiety and depression. And what else was going on with you? There was issues with, like self-worth issues sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Right? How about tell us a bit about your family and what kind of family you were raised in, or what was some of the issues with that?
I was having like some issues with my mom. Like in the past, when I went to school, she basically kind of told me what I should be doing, or she also like cut off some funding for careers that I wanted to do. So I just kind of basically lived my life doing what she said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which happens sometimes when you're younger and your parents have like such a big influence over you. And I remember it was with nursing?
Mm-hmm.
You followed her advice, went into nursing.
Spent like $14,000 only to get a PSW certificate out of it.
Right?
And then PSW, and then ended up being a PSW, but like wanting to do more.
Yes. Wanting to do more. And did you end up dropping out of nursing, or?
I flunked out.
Yeah, well, and it's interesting, right? Because sometimes when we go into those areas that we really don't want to go into in the first place, our heart is not always there, And it was always, it was a lot of anxiety and depression that you really didn't have the tools yet to deal with, because they weren't taught as a child. Is that correct?
I would say so.
Yeah. What else were you dealing with? I think there was, I don't actually think we worked on this in the program. There was driving was one that you wanted to improve on.
Driving, but with like driving, it's more of like the confidence with driving, not the actual driving part of driving is just like being confident in myself.
Being confident in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think relationship wise, you were just wanting to, what was that for you? Was there any challenges at the time when you came into the program with that?
Relationships wise, just like improved communication. I know with like Susan's help, I have a friend that's constantly not as available as I'd like them to be, but now I actually have like the tools and I'm able to politely tell my friend my feelings.
Yeah. Which is awesome. Right.
And it works with boyfriends too.
Yeah, it works. It does. Yeah, it works with everybody. So what did you feel like, share with everyone, what do you feel like you've learned in the program that really um, helped you kind of overcome some of these challenges? What do you feel? What did you learn? What did you take away? What were some of the biggest takeaways?
Like, I think the biggest takeaway is that, like, I need to put myself first. Like, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks, it's what I think. And that,
Mm-hmm.
like, I need to take care of myself, like, in more ways than one, like physically, mentally, emotionally. Just trying to think of other things. There's like so many things that I've learned that I don't know how to like summarize it exactly.
I know, right? Yeah, I think putting yourself first was a big one. What was your favorite modality to learn in the program?
I really like the chakra healing
Oh, did
modality.
you?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's interesting because I didn't know that.
Kind of encompasses like all the levels.
Yes. Yeah. In the modules, we go through inner child work, and then we go into different emotions in the body and what that means and what different energy centers mean in the body. And it really helps. Did you find it helped you tune into, like, if something came up in your body, to like know what it was about or this kind of thing?
It's like, oh, there's a feeling in my throat. I know what that is now.
Yeah.
It's like less guesswork.
Yeah. Yeah, it does help. It helps when you, like, the more knowledge you accumulate, it's like it starts to build that, like, intuition is sometimes just a knowing. And then it's also sometimes having the experience and knowledge from over years, you know? So that's wonderful. How do you feel like your anxiety and depression is now? What do you feel like you've gained from the program that you would have never before if you didn't do it?
Well, it's definitely better. What I've gained is trying to think, like, I guess more tools. Like,
Mhm.
I definitely feel more self-confident.
Yeah.
I feel like more capable. And then for like the traumas that I have, I feel like they're not hovering over me as much. Like, I've actually had time to process them, as before I just kind of like shove them under or keep myself busy or ignore them just to kind of get through with my day. But with like this program, like, I'm able to kind of focus my attention to what's important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. You become, yeah, I've seen such a difference with you from start to finish, with being able to go into motions with a lot more ease, and also have a lot more confidence than you've had. Like, your confidence is much different, right? Like, quite different from start to finish.
Mm-hmm.
Like, still having moments, as I always say, with like feeling not enough. Like, we all, even after years of healing, we all have issues. I mean, it's not like it goes away forever permanently, this kind of thing. How do you feel the inner child work has affected your awareness with your childhood, and like what insights and epiphanies have you had around that?
My epiphany from it is just, I don't think I realized how big some of the small events in my life were. Like, small events like me taking a test actually ended up being like really huge issues that were like self-esteem and self-worth issues that I just haven't addressed. So I'm kind of glad that, even though, while I wish that I could have addressed them while I was like 10, that I'm able to at least uh, take care of them now and like grow from them.
Yeah. Yeah. What was it with the test? Was it
Like,
remind?
I got like either a five marks out of like something, or a 0 on a test.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Like, completely failed it.
Yeah. And it affected you for a while.
Mm.
Yeah. And this is the thing, these tic tac size memories that you think are nothing. Like we make these decisions, these split second decisions about how we're going to be for the rest of our lives, you know, from these memories. What did you, and the issue with your mom was having a mom that didn't really is a little bit different from you. You were a little more of the black sheep, and having like you're more sensitive and possibly and sensitive and intuitive, and your mom is kind of shuts down those emotions. Yeah. And is more of, would you say, like the play it safe?
Yeah. She still loves me. It's just her goals and my goals aren't the same. And as much as she wants to make uh, my goals her goals, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
I've tried it. It doesn't work.
No. Like, what was I gonna say? Do you feel like you're how do you feel now with taking risks more, or this kind of thing, than before, or feeling confident with that area?
I definitely feel more confident to take risk, and I'm feeling like I'm more in control than I was before. Like before, certain opportunities I just like let them pass by because I didn't think I was good enough or I didn't think I could handle it. And then now I am trying to do as many things as I can that I enjoy, that I want to do, and just see where it takes me.
Yeah. Like now, and I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. You've done so well. I was like saying, Megan's like a star student in the program. Absolutely. Like always, you did so well because you were always playing full on, which is, I just loved it. You were just putting comments, so many comments into like the Facebook groups or like different areas, and just like really, I call it like full throttle. You were just dived in, which was great. And because you did that, other people in the group started to do that too. And you were a bit of a pioneer that way, which was awesome. And now you're wanting to do coaching or moving into that field, which takes a bunch of confidence, you know? And that's the cool thing, especially because I think, you know, with your parents, it was like, go into something safe. Mm-hmm. Go into this has a pension. You know, they probably weren't, you know, they going into coaching without a pension it's probably not the thing there.
For running your own business from home. What is that? We've never heard of it.
Yes, which is amazing. How do you feel like you are with your mom now, having this awareness that you
I'm
now have?
feeling a lot more comfortable, and I can kind of understand where she's coming from more. And
Mm-hmm.
even though I don't necessarily agree from her, I know that like her actions are from a place of love and I can't change her now, but I've grown from it. I've moved on and I don't need her approval anymore.
Wow. Mic drop. That's amazing. You're way ahead of me because I just gave up my parents' approval like just a year ago. So you're just like you're just a little long shot ahead of me. What was the last thing I was going to ask you? How do you feel it's affected your relationship that you're with right now?
That's definitely helps my relationships. Like I've noticed that like me and my boyfriend, we're just enjoying each other's company more. And because I'm less stressed out, he's also less stressed out because he doesn't have to worry about me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 100%. Do you feel it's helped him too with you changing yourself?
I think it kind of inspires him to want to change himself too.
Which is nice. It's nice to hear that because sometimes when people come into these programs, they are nervous about growing and their partner not growing. So sometimes these things can change with just you doing some of the work, which is cool. And yeah, I do believe I saw her partner for one session, but just more of a nutrition session, which was so good. Any other successes you feel like you've had that you want to share?
My other successes, well, I was going to take the program anyways, but it's just instinctively and intuitively knowing that I actually wanted to do the program that I'm taking, because there was a lot of debating and deliberation and going back and forth, and now I'm at a place where I know that's what I'm supposed to be doing. And then also like I'm applying for positions I wouldn't have even considered. And then lastly, like I'm thinking of starting up driving again, and once I figure out my course and timetable. And then also I've started a self-care club at my college, and like it's just me, so that's something I wouldn't have done before, but now I'm like, I'm doing it because I'm at a place where I can mentally handle it.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Right? We need confetti. We need something. Champagne. Can we get on? We need champagne on these calls. That's incredible. I think it was a big decision for you to decide. Like it took a while to kind of figure out where you wanted to go, but it feels like you're really in the right space. What did you say that I was like, oh yeah, you quit your job.
Yes. Oh, I forgot that.
That was like one of the biggest.
Oh, it took so long. It took like the full 3 months.
I took the whole program, but we finally got you there. You finally got yourself there.
I regret not doing it sooner. Sorry, work.
Peace. No, that's great. Yeah, because it was feeling like it wasn't right in your soul.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's the cool thing. And that's what people get to look forward to, is oftentimes like up and coming clients coming into this program, because a lot of people are doing these jobs that are soul sucking, is not what they want to do. But there's like, I think for you, what do you think was the main reason like you stayed there that was keeping you kind of attached to that?
It was the money, but now like it's not about the money. I just kind of regret not quitting sooner, because I don't think I realized how much energy working in something you don't want to do takes. Like for something that I don't want to do takes more energy than something I do want to do, even though the work is like actually equal. Yeah. It's just like the mental energy that it takes doing something you don't want to do is just more exhausting.
Yes. 100%. Yeah. Yeah. You could spend like very minimal time doing something you don't want to do, and it just like kills your energy waking up every day. And yeah, Megan's body was basically started to refuse her work. Her body was choosing for her.
I was like crying before I went into work. It's like, yeah. I don't want to go.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's so good. I'm so proud. One last question. What would you say to anyone coming into this program? Like, what advice or what words of encouragement would you say if anyone's considering this program, but they might feel nervous about spending the money, or maybe the self-work being too overwhelming, any hesitate or whatever that is for them? What would you like to say to them if you could?
I would say book a breakthrough call, because Susan's really nice, and like if there's any issues, she can kind of help you through it and kind of show you what the program is about. And then I would say for the people who like want to take the program, obviously like make time for it, but I think it's just really like important to really understand like the commitment that it takes, and like kind of set up a space and a designated time to do the work. Because what I found is you get out of it what you put into it. So I put the work in, and then I got the results. So if you're not interested in putting the work in, maybe revisit the concept at another time. So I'm kind of glad like at the time of my life where I chose to do the program, I was ready to do the program. Like, I'm glad I waited, because I think had I done it earlier, I wasn't at a place where I could have balanced the program with all my other responsibilities.
Yeah, I think that's some good advice. Absolutely. Because sometimes when you start to open the doors, as Megan knows, to some of this deep inner work, it's like the emotions that have been repressed for a long time are like, they get excited. They're like, yay, we get attention for the first time in 20 years, you know? So sometimes more and more, what would you say?
I would say it's like exhausting, but it's worth it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it is exhausting. It is exhausting, but definitely worth it. But creating space is very important.
It's also really nice to have like a tribe too. Like, I really liked creating the connections with the group members.
Mm-hmm. That's good to hear you say that. Yeah, because that's, I think, yeah, half of the program is the group calls and half is one-on-one. So you get a good fusion of it. And there's different people on the calls, right? Like Caleb, there's like so many fun people that kind of added a little spice to it. So that's awesome. I love you. It's
Love
been,
you too.
I love you. Yeah, it's just been awesome. And I'm so excited for your next journey. I've been trying, Megan and I have been trying to figure out ways to get her into my year-long program. And we are not going to give up. We are not going to give up. It may happen. It may, if we just keep putting possibility out there, it's going to come, it's going to go down at some point.
We're going to manifest it.
We're going to manifest the shit out of that. Yeah. I love you, Megan. Thank you.
I love you too.
Aw, I love you too. So good to have you out. And I will talk to you soon, very soon.
Same here.
Okay. Have a great day. Thank you for being on the call and sharing your experience with everyone.
You too. No problem.
Thanks, honey. I'll talk to you soon.